the mind is real. The mind is real. Something cannot be half real. There cannot be different degrees of real. So something is either real or it's not. The mind is real. So dreams are real. And imaginary things are real. And you might be thinking, but wait a minute. So Greg, you're saying that if you imagine an imaginary dream character, or if you imagine someone waving at you right now in your mind, you're telling me that that imaginary character that you're imagining is a living being? And I'm saying yes. Yes, because if I imagine an imaginary character in my mind waving at me, that is just a different form of me waving at myself in the mirror. So yeah, that imaginary character is a living being. It's me. See, now, like how I said about how the mind is real. So nothing can be just half real. So it's like you can't just keep calling some of the mind real and some of the mind not real just when it's convenient for you. You see? Because the mind is real. So it's not like some of it is real and some of it is not. Now, the only difference between what you call imaginary things and real things, the only difference between those is the solidity. So just like how water can turn into a solid like ice, real imagination, real possibilities that are, non-physical. Because, I mean, what is physical? It's just solidity. It's just the solidification. Manifestation is just the solidification of imagination. Like, it's just imagination. It's like the waviness of imagination solidified and vivid and more intense. Like, so I mean, it's like, so it's like the possibilities are real. Otherwise, there are no possibilities. See? But they're not manifested yet. They're not solidified necessarily. So every possibility is real. It's all real, but it's just not necessarily solidified possibilities. It's like quantum mechanics or quantum physics where the waves collapse into the waves turn into particles. It's like the same thing there. So since the mind is real, it cannot be half real. There cannot be different degrees of real. So all of the mind is real. So fiction does not really exist. What I'm saying is everything is real. Like everything is real. Like anything and everything is real. It's real as this infinite potential of possibilities. And then a possibility solidifies and becomes what is called real. But see, the only difference between the possibilities you imagine, the only difference between the imaginary things and what you call real things is just the solidity. See, so you notice how imaginary things look like stuff. Imaginary things look like something, just like this stuff does. But what's the difference? This form of imagination has been solidified, or I mean, this part of the imagination, the real imagination, has been solidified. And now it seems like this, solid thing, but that's just a, I mean, so, but it's still imaginary. And what I'm saying is imagination is real. Like, the imaginary possibilities of what could really happen are real. Otherwise, you're saying possibilities don't exist. See, so it's all real. It's all real. Everything is real. Everything is real, but it's just not necessarily... So all of the possibilities are real, but it's just not necessarily solidified into a vivid dream like this. Like the imagination is not necessarily solidified like this pen. So you call this pen more real than your imagination of a pen, but it's not, because the imaginary possibilities are all real. It's this real infinite potential, but all of the possibilities are not necessarily solidifying into what you're calling matter. Like, it's all mind, it's all real, but you're just calling the solids matter. Like, you're calling the solidified pieces of the mind matter, and you're calling it more real than the real possibilities of the mind, the infinite potential of the mind. See, but there's no difference. It's all real, because like I said, the mind is real. You can't just call some of the mind real and some of the mind not real just when it's convenient for you. Like, you don't want to be lying here. So, that's how everything exists. And that is how even fiction is real. It's just not necessarily going to be, or even allowed to be, in a solidified form, a manifested form. See, so what I'm saying is all possibilities are possible, but the mind isn't going to allow just any possibility to solidify, because it's God. It's God. So anyway, so when I woke up from a dream earlier today, all of those dream characters were me. When I was dreaming, they were all me. They were all me. So I can't call them not real. And I can't call you not real, because you're me. I can't call anything unreal. You're like, oh, but Greg, why don't you know my thoughts then? And it's like, your thoughts are my subconscious thoughts. I don't always have access to all of my subconscious thoughts at the same time. It would be too chaotic. It would be too much. It's kind of like how sometimes when I go to sleep, I know everything, because I'm not in human mode. Now anyway, when I'm sleeping, I'm not in human mode, so it's possible to know everything in other states of awareness. But yeah, so it's not like anything is not real. See, so people have been brainwashed into thinking that dreams are not real, because if you think that this is the only reality, you think that there's no escape and that other realities don't exist, and then you're easy to control. See, it's like, dude, so anyway. So it's like, is this solipsism? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, it's like, I mean, when people talk about solipsism, or when the solipsists talk, that a lot of the time the solipsists will say like, well, I'm real, but everything else is imaginary. It's like, that's not accurate. That's not correct. Because the mind is real, so everything's real. And it's all you. See, so is this solipsism or not? I don't know, because it's like I'm saying everything is me, but I'm not saying that imaginary stuff isn't real. But I am saying that it's all me and that it's real. So is this technically solipsism? I don't know. Is it some different version of it? I mean, I don't know. Because I know that the mind is real and all of the possibilities are real. They are just not necessarily manifested and solidified, in other words. So, it's like, I mean, so since I know that my mind is real and all of my mind is real, because you can't have different degrees of real, it's either real or it's not. So all of my mind is real. So every fantasy, every dream, it's all fucking real. It's just not necessarily manifested or solidified, in other words. So, again, I mean, it's like, is this solipsism? I don't know, because I'm not saying that imaginary stuff isn't real. I'm not saying that, you know, it's like, I'm not saying that imaginary things are not real, but I am saying they are all me, and I'm saying I'm real. So if I say that I'm the only thing that's real, it's like, but I'm not saying, I'm saying that there cannot be something that is not real. I'm saying there is no such thing as not real. So, is this solipsism? I don't know. I don't know what you would call this.